Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I know I haven't shown much and as far as what I've been planting and all, but today we're just going to do a quick garden update to show you how things are going. Let's get to it. Alright, so people that have watched our videos before know that we have an asparagus bed here. This side right here is just 2 years old, so we haven't been harvesting anything from this side. And we put in crowns last year. This side is 5 years old, and you can see we've been harvesting a lot of the asparagus here, and just some super thick ones. So this is still doing well. And onto the strawberries. Some of you also may know that this strawberry bed is 4 years old now, so this will be the end of these strawberries. Once these are done, I'm going to rip this all out. As you can see in the far end, that was pretty much overgrown with weeds and stuff, so I tore everything out of there, re-amended the soil. Now we got some celery that looks like it needs a little water, so we just planted some celery this weekend. I did not start that from seed. My wife picked it up at a greenhouse, so I had to find room for that. And then I planted out basil and marigold. Now on to our Brussels sprouts and cabbage and peas. Once again, the early pests that I get in my garden are ants. And these are the ants that destroy my plants. They eat the roots, they eat the stems right below the soil surface, and will just break the plant right off. So I've been doing the borax, sugar, water solution and putting up some traps. Also just pouring some around where I think their little holes are. These ones don't leave the ant hills though, so it's hard to figure out where they're coming from. But they have already chewed halfway through a Brussels sprout, and they chewed all the way through a cabbage. So I went and just put a few more cabbage seeds in its place. So hopefully they will sprout up. But like I said, if you have an ant problem, you can look up for borax and sugar solution. I just do 3 parts sugar, 1 part borax. So I'll just take a little bowl, like 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of borax, and then a tablespoon or so, and mix it up till it's like a paste. And then I'll put it in some mason jars and just punch some holes in there. And I get all of my pest control information from, I watch Gary from the Rusted Garden. He does a lot of the pest control, disease control. So he has a lot of good information on his channel if you have not checked him out. And that's where I got the borax idea and stuff from. So we'll keep moving on. But anyway, everything's looking good, growing good from when I first planted it. And this is that cabbage I talked about. It's just chewed. They just chew it right below the surface, right in half. So like I said, I planted a few seeds there. So hopefully it'll sprout. If you've seen me plant out the 200 onions, they are starting to take off good. Still looking good. I did have some ants chew off a couple of them. And this looks like it could be another one. Right there. They'll just chew right through it. So I've been putting traps everywhere. And all the seeds I planted, these are the yellow onions. I didn't get seeds in time to start the white onions indoors, but I'll have to, once they get a little bigger, they all seem to be coming up good. I'll have to thin them and then also weed. Big thing with onions is they do not like weed pressure at all. So if you're going to keep any bed weeded all the time, do it around your onions. They do not like weeds at all. And we got the red onions. My wife picked up some, nope, this is cauliflower. So 4 cauliflower plants. And then I got a row of just the bunching onions or table onions, green onions, whatever you want to call them, going right there. And we have had some crazy weather the last 2 weeks where it's been super hot. Hot enough to where my spinach was already starting to bolt and flower on me. Then it went back to like winter where we were getting freezing temps, frost, and as you can see, the frost and cold temps didn't harm any of the brassicas or the onions, anything like that. If I would have had tomatoes or peppers out here, they would have died, just like the eggplant did. This was an eggplant, but the frost and cold got to it. I'm going to try to keep it alive. But that's what happens when you get stuff out too soon, especially the summer crops. Now on to the crazy arugula that's just going crazy. But I just have some, I don't know if they're little super small bugs that just chew the arugula. But that keeps some off of the lettuce. You can see we've harvested a few heads of lettuce just today to make some salads for the work week. But we got a couple more. And like I said, the spinach was flowering a couple weeks ago, but I came in, just cut off the flowers. And this will be the new strawberry bed. So I've just kind of sporadically planted out some strawberries. These ones I took from the other strawberry bed last fall and planted them in here. And then, like always, I always run out of room, so I just am throwing plants everywhere. Got a couple kale, another Brussels sprout. And as you can see, we got pots. Finally got all the pots filled. But there's pots all around the garden. We'll show you that in a little bit. But we'll move on to the next one. More brassicas, broccoli, more Brussels sprouts, and then I will plant cucumbers next to this fence here to grow up the fence. And then each corner will be a zucchini plant. So there will be 4 zucchinis, cucumbers added to here. And I was going to do corn, but with all these extra plants, I don't have room. So this was going to be the corn bed. I'm eliminating corn this year. And these are going to be peppers. I planted some okra, a couple rows of okra, another row of lettuce that I'm going to try to do just for cut and come again, but it might be getting too hot. We'll see how it does. I planted 1 pepper plant that we got from a greenhouse. It is a sweet cherry. I like watching the Veggie Boys, I think, on YouTube, Andrew, and they're always talking about the sweet cherry peppers. I've never grown them, so I saw one at a greenhouse. I picked it up, and I planted this out today. I think we should be fine looking at the forecast. The nights are still going to get fairly cool, but I don't see anything really lower than the upper 40s, low 50s for nights for a while. None of this 32 like it has been anyway. So I still got a lot to plant. And then we got our herbs. Well, first we got the blueberries. They are coming back. I'm going to have to look up why the leaves are turning a little red. I don't know. This is only the second year with the blueberries. So they came back, so that's a good thing. Another pot of dill. And then all the herbs that we've got. Whole bunch of different sages. My wife loves herbs, and she can't stop herself from buying every one she sees at a greenhouse, especially the different varieties. So she's got a lot of different sage and some other herbs. You know, we got some basil, some oregano. Then our chives that just go crazy every year. I'm going to have to split these up, but the flowers are one of my favorite parts of the chive. Then in this pot we got some garlic chives. I always wanted to grow them, Saw them at a greenhouse, so I had to buy a couple of them. I did not do a potato planting video this year, but I think I planted them. When did I plant them? A week ago? Week and a half ago? I don't know when I planted them. But this bed's got reds on this side and reds on that side. This is the Norland red, and you can see them starting to pop through. Then this is a Lesotho red. I'm not seeing much. Oh, we finally got one of them. I planted these like a few days after I planted those ones. And then this whole bed is all Kennebecs. So they're starting to pop through as well. So we got more pots, like I was saying earlier. This is another potato pot. I'm going to see what the difference is. I've never put potatoes in a pot before. So I think I put 3 red potatoes in there. And then that one I have 3 Kennebecs. Then this I think is lemon balm maybe. I don't know. We got lemon balm, orange balm. This is orange balm. It does smell like orange. Pots in the corner, got more marigolds, so I can just move them around. This one's not planted out yet. This will be beans. Hopefully next weekend I'll get the beans in, but I have an ant infestation in this bed right now. So, you can see a little, I want to swear so bad, but it's YouTube and I can't, sorry. But the little B words all over. So, once I get them under control, I'll plant the beans. More marigolds and some chamomile. This one's not planted yet. This is going to be the watermelon and cantaloupe. But my wife saw a squash plant that she wanted to try, so I had to make more room for a squash. And I said, that's fine, put it here. I'd rather it go in the pumpkin garden. But then you got spearmint. Most of this I did start from seed. You know, as hard as it may be to believe, but more marigolds, then another squash plant that the wife picked up. Honey bear squash. We've never grown squash before. Don't know if I really like squash, but might as well try it. I just got done planting out some tomatoes. They just have been in the house too long and they just needed to go in. So these are all the determinate varieties. So you got the Opolka, Manitoba, and a couple cherry tomatoes. So these are all determinate. I won't do anything with these other than just let them grow and bush out and do what they want to do. That's about all the care I'll do with them. I might put a few little stakes in there just to keep them from falling over and going crazy. Another wood box. I think did more potatoes in that one. 4, I think I put in there just to try it out. And I think that's everything other than more pots down the side that are just more different varieties of herbs. There's, I think, a thyme, rosemary, whatever, tarragon. And then I have a couple little, I have a gooseberry and a blackberry bush that I'm waiting on to put. I have a couple beds coming this week, just a couple more little metal raised beds, 1.5 feet wide by 6 feet long, that I'm just going to put alum in this corner here after I finish putting down the fabric. And I'll plant the gooseberry and the blackberry in there, and I'll probably just keep adding to it every year with another blackberry bush maybe or something different. But I want to just have a couple little fruit bushes in the corner there and use up this space. I still want a big space because having a table is nice, especially when I was doing all the pots this weekend. I can set a pot up here, mix it up, and plant it, and it went well. So anyway, that's the tour for now. I don't think I have anything else for you. I just have to wait for my cucumbers, zucchini. I had a little delay on the cucumbers. I had to replant them, so they might not be big enough for a couple weeks before I can get them in the garden, which is fine. Better late than never, right? And I'd rather be a little late than early, like I've said before. So, that being said, I'd like to just thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.